Hello and welcome to the Star Business Solutions 2020 webinar series. Today we'll be presenting one of our software partners, TOKN, who do apps, and mainly we deal with them with Greentree, but they're also applicable to the MYOB Advanced product. Clinton Schroeder is the co-founder of TOKN and one of the experts in the field, and he will be presenting a bit of a rundown on TOKN and a demonstration for you. Please hold all your questions till the end. However, as you go, type them into the questions area and we will address them at the end. Today's agenda, we'll talk about why TOKN, what is TOKN, we'll do a demo of their Timesheet Capture functionality, a demo of timesheet approvals, give a brief overview of the TOKN platform, and then, as I said, we'll go into question and answers. Now I'll hand it over to Clinton.
Great, thanks very much, Norman, for hosting us today. It's great to be able to talk to you guys a bit more about some of the exciting products that are coming out and integrating with Greentree and the advanced platform. TOKN is a small enterprise mobility company. We founded about 6 years ago, primarily built around the premise of making your enterprise data easier to get to. And couple of the things that we're noticing at the moment is we're noticing a new generation that's consuming data in different ways that we could have imagined before. People expect that information, whether it's from your enterprise system or elsewhere, to be available at any time on demand. People are moving away from email-based systems and paper-based systems, and they're moving to having the information that they need wherever they are. The other thing is we're noticing a big cut on the bottom line. People aren't implementing large, heavy-scale projects as frequently as they used to. They're looking for the digital tools and the agile tools that they can get, quicker than they used to do at a better price. And then lastly, people are just trying to get rid of paper. We're seeing forms and documents and things everywhere we go, and even in these uncertain times that we're in at the moment, people are trying to do less with paper, be more connected, and work more remotely. So TOKN plays well into this space, and this is where we can really leverage the richness of the data sets that you already have, the transactions and the business logic that you've invested so much into, and bring that out to another level and really connect your workforce and drive those productivity savings that are embedded in there. A case in point, we recently did a case study with a mining services company, labor hire. They really were interested in just getting a timesheet from us connected to their MYOB system. They started with a timesheet. We went out there and we rolled that timesheet out. Now, the initial story there was they found it quite difficult to actually get into the app. We had a few bits of credentials that they needed to enter. And they thought it was okay, and they tried to roll it out. They came back and they said, look, this is really, really hard. But with TOKN, we were lucky enough to streamline that process. So when you get investing in mobile apps and timesheets and whatever else, it's not just the app on the phone that's important. It's how are you going to get it to your team and your business as well. So what we did is we've got a very smart logon process where a new user involved in the business, all they have to do is bring along their mobile phone and put in their mobile number. And with that, TOKN takes over and delivers the functionality to them and makes sure that that timesheet is communicated securely to where it's got to go. So they rolled out from 120 users to over 1,100 users in a couple of weeks. And they went on to then extend that from one application to 6 or 7 at the moment, and currently in play. So, and those are across MYOB and non-MYOB systems. So with TOKN, you're able to then work that out. So what is TOKN exactly? Well, TOKN is a bit of software that runs in AWS. we call it the TOKN platform. It has a administration console on it, and that software helps you do a couple of things. It helps you connect to the different systems that you might have on your premise, and also systems that you don't have. If you have a paper-based process in place that someone has to do every day, TOKN can maintain that data source for you as well and put it right next to your MyOb transaction. So you're able to connect to the different data and systems. We're able to then build mobile applications out of that data, and we're able to serve those onto the mobile device. Now, that runs in an offline, online fashion, regardless of your transactions. And we actually are able to control who's got what version of software. We're able to remote wipe that software and actually deliver updates to that software. So one thing is getting an app that does a time entry, but another thing is actually controlling that, making sure that it's sustainable in your workforce when you start to ramp up the number of transactions and devices that this will bring with it. We're seeing some of our customers are mainly transacting 50, well, a year ago transacting 50-50 between their desktops and their email systems, to today, running the same number of transactions, but actually completely in a mobile fashion. So when that starts to happen, you really need to be in a good spot to actually prepare your business for working and reimagining the way that they actually are going to work. So that's TOKN. It's a bit of software that runs in AWS, and it has we have 3 native clients, one for each platform, one for the desktop, one for iOS, and one for Android as well. And that's native to us. We've pre-built the functionality in all those clients, so the end user doesn't have to worry about that. And we've also pre-built our framework. So within that framework, you can self-administer this. You can connect the systems you want. You can use our template library of applications if you need to create that connected workforce. Just to give you an idea, we have already pre-built over 25 native templates that run across the Greentree and MyOb Advanced platform. Across different industry segments. And we're really lucky with TOKN in that you can actually quickly and easily get hold of a template, copy that, add your logo and color scheme. And if not, you can actually modify, create your own as well, if there's something that you really need. We've created things across industry segments like healthcare, services, mining services, construction, finance, HR, purchasing. So we really do have a spread in there, and we'll be happy to hear and see if we can work with you to create something special that you need. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to talk a little bit more specifically about our timesheet solution. I'm going to share with you my phone so that we can actually have a look at that. Just let me get my screen up and running. So it's actually a sort of connected system here. So as you can see, this is my phone. So TOKN, as I said, works on a bring your own device principle primarily. So it frees you up from actually having to afford and look after company devices. We do this, the reason we can offer this is because we've got that secure platform that runs this technology in it. And we actually look after the TOKN component on this device. Now, if you had to issue devices and support devices, it costs you about $4,000 a year per person on average, whereas this frees the smaller business to actually use what they already have. This is the native TOKN client for the iOS phone. It sits in here, so I'm going to open that up. When you connect for the first time, TOKN will deploy the functionality that's been assigned to you. So these are the series of 5 applications here that have been assigned to me in the test system. So you can actually target who gets what application. So you can say, if I'm a manager, I want to get the timesheet approval app, and you can set that up. So that's what happens. Over here, we've got a couple of different app templates. I'm going to talk more specifically about our Timesheet Plus solution. Timesheet Plus is a fully integrated timesheet capture solution for MYOB. It comes with an approvals engine to help you manage both external and internal approvals. So often the scenario is you get your time captured, but you need to get that approved. And often that approval comes from somebody who's not within your organization. And you want to offer them a digital way to do that, but you don't want to go through a huge, heavy licensing cost to do that. So Token will do that for you. If I open up our Timesheet Capture template, what we're presented with here is a daily summary of some of the timesheets that have been created for this particular week ending date. We offer a bit of history up here, so we can see all the different timesheets in our MyOb system at a glance, and we can actually have a look at one of them if we wanted to. Apart from that, we're showing a bits of information on the screen, just generally there's some job information, depending on which job that was created for. You can see which system or work center I'm using, an activity code, and things like that. So it just gives you a bit of a summary of what's being done. Now at the bottom, we've got an option to create either a new daily or weekly. Now this is just our standard template. We actually have a couple of different versions of the timesheet. And as I said, with Token, you can actually tailor that timesheet to your business. So whether you're applying disbursements, or whether you're using job cost or not, you can actually create the template that you need for the way you're working here. In this case, we've got a daily and a weekly option. I'll have a look at the weekly option. Weekly option gives you to quickly enter time across a whole week. So some of the labor hire that we deal with do one job across a number of different days, and they want a quick way to confirm the hours across those days. So they'll pick this instead of creating a new timesheet each day. We're able to set a week ending date picker here. So for example, I'll go into April. I'll set my week ending date for the 2nd of April. We're required to enter a job number. So Token will, of course, verify this, that it's correct. It will also generate a list of work centers and activity codes that we can actually use. I'm not sure how we're going with this. Based on that job code selection, and it will also allow us to enter a start and end time for this particular job. So I'm going to just select, using my time picker, select a start and end time. So maybe I came in at 6 today and I'll work to 6 tonight. Right. I can enter some notes. Remember, this does run on the desktop as well. So for some of our specialist technicians, you're able to use the keyboard as well, which is really great. Then we have to confirm our hours throughout the week. So I'll select the first day of that week and I can confirm the time. And I can go through each day quite simply. And if I get to one where I didn't maybe have that many hours, I can adjust that one and then continue. So that gives us a bit of an idea of what the total hours are, and prepare that timesheet for the week. What this will do is actually post, this particular one will post to the job cost module. It will post a daily timesheet for each day, all under that week ending date in the background. Now, there's a couple of things. I have the ability here to get a signature, a digital signature, if the client will sign on the glass and if they're available. Now, in these uncertain times, not everybody wants to touch everybody else's phone, so that's not obligatory. If not, Token will send what we call our smart approval link for the supervisor or manager to approve, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But you do have the ability to go in here, sign your signature if you want, and it will save that. I'll put my name in. Just like that. I'm going to clear that signature now. Just clear that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself as the supervisor, and I'm going to make sure that I get a link to approve. So what they'll do is I'll actually put in their supervisor's email address here, or if they don't know it, it will go to a central email address where it can be managed from there. .com. Okay. There's also the ability to add any supporting attachments. You can use the camera function on the phone to take a photograph of anything supporting. And then once we're happy with that, we can actually submit that to Greentree. So I'm going to hit that off. I'm going to get it signed. Let's just do that. Let's just delete that. Test. All right, and that will send that through for approval. The next stage is for it to be externally approved and then internally approved. I will have a look now to show you what that looks like within Token. So there, I've got an email that's been sent to me because I'm the supervisor in this case, requesting that I approve that timesheet. Now, what does that look like? You can access that email either on your phone or on a tablet device, and from there you can actually get the approval done. I'm just seeing, where did it come through? Yeah. Okay, it will also send a PDF copy of the timesheet. So that's a copy of what was ready and signed. So you can actually get a view of that as well. I'm just trying to see where there we go. This is the link that'll come to you. It'll come in an email. This can be branded to your business in any way you like. There'll be a little link that says approved timesheet. And when you click that, it'll actually open up our smart approval form. So here you can see I'm presented with the hours to approve. And I can actually open up that link. I'll put my name in first. And I can actually do my signature on my own device over there. So that will then mark that for approval. While I'm looking at that, I'm just going to show you what that looks like in our approval engine here. So this is the token console that I mentioned, or platform earlier on, and as you can see, we've got an administration console here that's available for us to actually administer. All our clients get their own instance in here. There's no installation. It's a cloud service. You set your company up. You have the ability to add administration users and maintain your company information in our console, which is quite easy to do. Now, each company gets unlimited instances, so you can get a development, quality, production system, and on each of those systems you can connect one or more different systems. In this case, we've got a series of application objects that are available for us to use. I'm going to go into this timesheet manager here, and I'm just going to have a look at what we've got. So there's the timesheet sitting for me at the moment in the approval manager. And just to give you an idea, so here you can see the different hours for the week. You're able to actually, as a manager, it's telling me that it's pending for approval at the supervisor, because I haven't submitted it yet. And when that supervisor submits this approval, it'll actually update Token. And it will say supervisors approved. And after that, what we're able to do then is we're able, as a manager, to come in here and actually approve those as well. So we can modify the timesheet line if we need to, and we can also reascend this for approval to another email address if we wanted, or we can just simply select all and approve. So I'm just going to see if I can do one of them. Approve selected. And what that will do is it will be marked as waiting for submission to Greentree. That will be sent to Greentree imminently, and when it's done so, it will actually update this as well to say send to Greentree. And now it's gone straight into your job cost, and it's ready then to be taken forward in your billing process from there. So that's really a smart way of actually managing timesheet approvals, both externally and internally for your clients. Just to talk a bit more about the token console, we've got, as I said earlier, we've got this dashboard area here, which helps us administer some of the basics. But then we've got 4 major capabilities within the platform. So we've got a connect module. Here we're able to register different systems, connect to different systems, Greentree being one of them. We use the full Greentree API suite to connect to Greentree. You're able to register a new connection here and actually manage the extract and the updates coming out of those systems. So, for example, I can actually look at, that one's not a live one, I can actually look at the structure and the data that comes out of that extract, and we can create a structure to suit that mobile application. We can actually pick and choose the fields coming out of that API to connect to Token with. I'm just trying to see if I can find. Let's look at this. Let's look at this one. Set employee. This might give us something. Yep, here we go. So here you can see one of the standard Jobcast employee APIs in play. Now, with Token, we can actually pick and choose just the fields we need to use in our mobile app and apply that into our structure. And that's the way the app will communicate going forward. So it's really light on data and really, really fast. We're not using every single field in the API. We've also got a Workbench over here. All our clients get access to the Workbench and our template library. Our template library has a number of apps that we've already pre-built, and you're able to just as quick as easy as pick up one of those templates, change your actual app logo and the color scheme that you want in our Workbench, and you've got a native application ready to go on your phone. You can actually test that over here as well. You can see what that looks like. You can check that out on different device sizes as well. Or if you want to, you have the ability to look at the full range of data structures, JavaScript libraries, and everything else that you need to create something really special if you wanted to. Really though, you can actually pull on our template. It's literally under 3 minutes to take a template into an app and have it ready for deployment using our library. We also have a workflow function. So this is where we manage our user base, who gets what application. We're able to connect to different groups. We create groups that represent either different work crews or departments within the organization. And we're able to drag and drop user base into those groups. These users can come from Greentree directly. We integrate with the employee user base in Greentree, or you're able to get it from things like Active Directory and other sources as well. Or we can use our easy upload import templates to upload the user base. So that's there's a template there. You just populate that and import the user base there. So based on that, we actually assign our apps to those groups as well. And you can actually drag and drop the apps that you need into your group, just like that. And when you drag and drop, it'll actually make that assignment. And the next time that user connects, they will see the apps that are assigned to them, just as I did in the beginning of the discussion. And the last capability that we've got is our control module. So once everybody's got these apps, who's connected and what systems are they running? So you can actually see, we can pick up the user that's connected. We can work out whether they're running an iOS system or an Android or a Windows desktop, what version of software they're running. Even things like battery levels we can pick up. So you just get a better control as to who's using what in the ecosystem. If you need to get a hold of somebody to get them to update their device, you can actually do that. You can also flag them here for remote wiping, blacklisting, or redeployment. So for example, if I wanted a user to get updated, I would flag them for a redeployment. And the next time they connected, Token would automatically reset and update that device. And that's just a little bit of functionality that we've got that enables us to run the bring your own device scenario here. I guess that's what I wanted to show today, Norman. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you can see the capability for lifting your ERP systems into the mobile world. and leveraging a lot of those good business processes and data that you already have. Feel free to reach out to Star about Token. We do cover a number of scenarios, and we're always looking for people with like-minded, innovative ideas to grow the base there.
Well, that's okay. We've got a bunch of questions that have come through so far, Clinton, which, if you've got time, I'd like you to answer for our attendees today.
Yeah, sure.
I think you've possibly covered some of these questions, but I don't think it's a bad idea to go back and make it fairly clear. The first question that came through asks, what devices does Token run on?
At the moment, we support Windows 10 on the Windows platform. We support the iOS and the Android devices. So iOS really from version 11, iOS is what we recommend. And on the Android side, I think from version 7. That's coming quite a big spectrum of devices at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. The next question, what systems does Token integrate with?
Yeah, currently we work well with the MyOb Advanced and the MyGreentree platforms. Token also lends itself to, we're working currently actively with SAP and IFS as well as enterprise platform.
Okay, we won't talk about those ones. Star doesn't deal with them. Next question. This is a very important one, I believe. What security protocols does Token use?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So we've got a number of security elements at play in the platform. The first one is our bring your own device, what we call our secure bi-factor authentication login process. So Token will actually send a secure code to the device to ensure that the person connecting is the actual person they say they are. And then based on that code, Token will then enroll them and deliver the functionality to the device. So there's a special service that we use, and it's connected to some of our Amazon services that help us with that authentication. Apart from that, we have dual encryption. So there's a secure tunnel between the device and Token itself, and that has 2 layers of encryption. So the data within the device, in the tunnel is encrypted, and there's a layer of encryption on the tunnel as well. So that's very secure. And then on the back end side of that, we have a number of options there as well. We use the business logic of the enterprise system itself. So you have to be authorized to actually work within Greentree just to access Greentree, and that's no different from when you're working through Token itself. So we use the authorizations concept and business logic from the enterprise system as well as a secure mechanism in that regard.
Okay, not good. One thing you didn't cover during the presentation was how's Token priced?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have a sliding scale for our customers. So it's based on the number of users and applications. It's a usage subscription model, and it ramps up and down. So if you have 5 users using 10 applications, that's what we call 50 nodes or 50 applets. And we have a price per applet, and it depends how many you've got. So we have 2 models. One model that starts for businesses between 0 and 100 users, and another model that starts for businesses from 100 and up. And the businesses that go from 100 and up, I think the node or applet price starts at around $8 and gets progressively lower. A lot of our businesses are paying at about $2.5 per app, you could say. Now the smaller businesses, obviously the price is a little higher, but it's got about 4 or 5 tiers between 0 to 100. So you can start at about 30, I think it's 35 or $33, and then it goes down to $8, depending on the number of users there. So it tried to bring in a lot of flexibility into the model and get people on of all different shapes and sizes.
Okay. Can third-party clients sign off and approve timesheets?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, the external approval is something that's quite interesting about the TOKN Timesheet and Expense module. So you can actually use that either that digital sign-off on the phone or that email-based system to get people outside the organization to actually complete the approval. And you can actually monitor and control that centrally on our approval manager.
Okay, I suppose that would make it easier when your accounts department is sending out invoices for the end of the month, because you know they're not going to come back questioned because they've already been approved.
Correct. Yeah, it speeds up the process and gets your billing cycle happening on time, as it should. Yeah.
Okay, another question from the same person. Can you record travel time or break time on these timesheets?
Yes, you can, and you can do that either on a daily fashion or on a weekly fashion as well. And we handle both kilometers and hours based travel, and we've actually got the validation in the timesheet itself. So if you select the indicator travel, then you need to actually complete the values for that.
Okay. Just looking for some more questions. Yep. What API does it use to connect to existing systems?
Yeah, correct. So depending on the actual business process, will determine which API we use. For Greentree, though, we use the suite of MyOb APIs. There is a cost associated with those APIs. However, the API is kept up to date. So as and when Greentree changes, so the API is maintained, which is a very important point. You can probably find various ways of integrating to Greentree, but if they're not maintained, your business may run into issues over time as Greentree is patched and updated. But for the timesheet, we use various different APIs. If it's a job cost, we use the JC timesheet API. If it's the CRM web timesheet, we use the CRM web timesheet API as well. Over and above that, we draw in a lot of different information. So in this case, we also have the JC employee API, so we're getting information about the employee. We also may get some CRM organizational information about the business, and of course the job, the JC job API as well, to get information about the jobs. So as you can see, we're not limited. We can actually use all the APIs. The good thing to remember about this and other processes is when you are working with APIs, it's essential to have a real good framework that you're applying that API in. If you're going to reinvent that for each mobile app that you're building, it's going to be fairly complex for you to actually keep control of the different APIs that you might be working with. And that's one thing about TOKN. We have a standard framework that we apply for our connected systems, and we do it the same way every time.
Okay, oh, that's good. Interesting. How long does it take to deploy the Timesheets app?
The Timesheet app in this current template, if you wanted this template and you wanted to use what I showed you here, we would probably need about half an hour to set up your company. We would then turn it over to you to add your user base and to take the template from the template library and deploy that. I would say within a day you could have that template out in the hands of the business based on what you've seen here today, connected to your data. Bear in mind, you would need your API key issued to you so that you can install that in the TOKN system.
Okay, interesting. Next question. Can you enter timesheets by worker centers or job groups or activity groups or similar?
Yes, you can. We have a few different combinations. Some people run the job cost scenario with work center plans in Greentree, others don't. Depending on your scenario would determine which particular template you went with. But we cover a range of different scenarios. So what I'm saying is it does also take into account the business logic in Greentree that's associated with your activity code groupings and work center groupings.
Okay. No, I think you actually answered this question during the presentation, Clinton, but can the app be customized to a client's branding?
Yes, it can. So that blue branding that you saw on my device was our token blue, but the icon on the phone itself can be branded to your business as well as the look and feel of the app. So you can actually change that color scheme and apply your own logo there, and that will come through on your device, on your employees' devices, branded to your business. Yeah.
Okay. How easy is it to modify an app?
It depends what's being done. If you're changing some validation within the app, it can be fairly complex. In other words, if I select this field and this field, then don't show that field. You know, there is a bit of coding required in that sort of logic. But if you want to merely just pick up an app, change the color and the logo, it's fairly simple.
Yeah. Great. Another question, is there a demo available online?
We have a number of videos on our YouTube library, which I'm sure we can give you, Norman, to share. But it's yeah, there's a number of short, sharp videos on the different app functionality there, which I recommend you guys have a look at. There you can also find them. So if you go to YouTube, you can just type in TOKN Technology, you'll see them. Or you can look at our website, tokntechnology.com as well. We have a range of videos, and I believe Star is going to have them as well.
Okay, I can easily arrange to have those linked onto our YouTube channel as well. Just looking, any more questions? Nope, that looks like it for today, Clinton. We've covered off on all the questions I've had so far. Once again, if anyone has any questions about Token, please feel free to contact Star, and we can talk to you about Token and either MYOB Greentree or MYOB Advanced, 1-800-415-315. And if we can't answer the specific question, we can put you through to Clinton or one of his able staff members. So don't be a stranger. Please make contact with us, and hopefully you have enjoyed today's webinar, and we look forward to having you next month for our next webinar. So from Clinton and myself, have a nice day.